Hey, what's up, guys? It's Semi here. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Today, I got a pretty funny story for you guys. It's actually really embarrassing now that I think about it. But before this video gets started, if you guys end up liking this video, please consider giving it a like and maybe even subscribing if you want. I put a lot of time into these videos, and I'm a pretty small YouTuber, and any like helps. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the video. This story happened about 2 years ago, so I was 13 when the story happened. Also, I don't condone doing this if you're under the legal age, if there is a legal age where you live. But anyways, I have this friend that's kind of the textbook definition of a bad influence. He does tons of drugs, or not tons of drugs, all he does is smoke weed, but like it's still a pretty bad thing for how old I was at the time. And I mean, it's still kind of a bad thing for me to see now, but I see it a lot more than when I was 13. So my friend that smokes tons of the devil's lettuce, for this story, we're gonna call him Alex. So for context, Alex is a year older than me, so a lot of the things that he did I thought were just normal for people who were his age, which it kind of is actually, to be honest. But anyway, so Alex had came over to my house the night before this story happened, and this time when he came, he kind of had lots of money on him when he came over to my house, which was kind of weird. Like, he would bring money to my house every once in a while. He'd bring like a 20 or something, but this time he had brought in $60, which I thought was really weird. Also, if you're wondering why I knew that, he showed me the money when he came up to my house. But about like 3 hours after he came to my house, I asked him why he had so much money, and he told me that he wants to smoke weed. And I was like, damn, I want to do that too. And he was like, all right, bet, we're gonna do it then. And I was like, all right, when? And he wanted to do it the night before the story actually happens, and I wanted to do it the day after because it was kind of late when we actually got the stuff. Also, I didn't want to be home when I did it because I didn't want to get caught, which was actually a pretty stupid idea. But anyway, so we go shopping for the devil's lettuce, and we see these things that are called disposables. To be honest, I don't really know what they are. Like, he just got them because they were cheap, which should have been a really big red flag because I don't think they would be that cheap anyway. If you're wondering how cheap it was like $20 for two of them, and it had kind of a lot of wax in it for what it was. So after we got the stuff, we had decided that we were gonna just do it both nights because there was plenty of it, and so it didn't really matter if we smoked it the night before or the day after. So the night we did it the first time, I just got really tired and I went to sleep like 20 minutes after we did it, and it was low-key a fire ass nap, or sleep I mean. But I kind of wasted the high the whole point I did it, And so the day after I woke up, I was like, all right, I'm going to do tons of it today because I kind of wasted it last time, which was a really stupid idea. I was lightweight and I did a lot of it. So our plan for the day that this story actually happens on was to go to this grocery store, like parking lot thing that I skate at, and we were going to do it on the way there. I live by this aqueduct thing, and so we were going to walk to the grocery store. We were going to stop at the aqueduct, do what we had to do, and then go to the grocery store. And so I live kind of far away from the grocery store. I live about 2 miles away, and the aqueduct is like right next to my house. So we did our devil's lettuce, and we walked from the aqueduct all the way down to this grocery store. And if I'm being honest with you, that was the funnest part of this whole entire story. We messed around with each other, everything was funny. It was just a really good time. But right when I got to the grocery store, I started to get really tired. And also, when we were there, a lot of my other friends were there because I told them to come there, not to get high or anything, but to just chill with them because they were my homies. And I was tired, but I wasn't super tired yet. I was just sort of tired. And so we were chilling with everyone, and we decided that we wanted to go and get some McDonald's. And if I'm being honest with you guys, that was probably the best McDonald's I've ever had in my entire life. Like, I don't know why, but having the munchies just made that McDonald's 1,000 times better, I swear. But I'm getting off track. So anyway, after we eat that McDonald's, I start to get super tired. Like, I'm like almost falling asleep in my chair at McDonald's type of tired. And so another homie that we knew comes by, and we're gonna call him George for this story. So George also does weed and stuff like Alex does, but he wasn't a year older than me, and I knew he did it, but I didn't really think of him doing it as much as I thought about Alex doing it. So anyway, George wants to do that stuff with me and Alex, and of course Alex was down, but I was way too tired to do it. And so they start leaving, and of course I go with them because I didn't want to chill with the other homies because they were all skating and I was just sitting there. So I go with them behind the grocery store actually, and they start doing it, and I swear to you, and not even 2 minutes, I fall asleep. And I fell asleep for at least like 20 minutes. You know, so if you're wondering where I fell asleep on the floor, like on the cement. It didn't matter to me. I just needed a place to go to sleep, you know. But anyway, 20 minutes goes by and I get woken up, and I was so tired when I got woken up. And they woke me up to tell me that they were going to go and move spots to this like car shop that was by the grocery store. It was like an AutoZone or an O'Reilly or something. I can't remember which one it is. But anyway, we walk over there, and I swear to you, that walk from behind the grocery store to the AutoZone or the O'Reilly or whatever it is was the hardest walk I have ever been on. It was so much harder than the walk from the aqueduct to there because I was so tired and I had started to feel like shit. Like I felt really bad, like really sick. So what felt like a 3-hour walk, we finally made it to the side of the O'Reilly or the AutoZone or whatever it is. I'm just going to call it an AutoZone from now on. So we make it to the side of this AutoZone and we sit on this like curb, and when I sit down, everything was in pain. I was just in pain and I felt so sick, and all I wanted to do was sleep. So my friends that were sitting right next to me started watching BoJack Horseman, and I just fall asleep. I'm dead asleep. And I sleep for a good hour and a half. And then I get woken up by them. And when I got woken up, I wasn't as tired and I could stay awake. And all of my other friends that we were with there were all over there skating with us, just watching them. And so I'm sitting on this curb watching my friends skate. And I start to realize that I feel like shit. Like I felt 10 times worse than I felt when I fell asleep before. And you know, I wasn't tired anymore, and I was way too high to call my mom and ask her to pick me up to go home. So I had to just sit there and feel like shit for another 2 hours or whatever. But about 20 minutes after I wake up, I get a call from my mom, and I was freaking out. I was getting super paranoid. I was like, dude, she's gonna find out. She's gonna find out. And my friend was like, dude, just answer the phone. She's gonna get way more mad if you don't. So I answer the phone. And I swear to you, I'm like, what's up? And she's like, Gavin. And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And she's like, are you fucking high right now? And I swear, I switched up so fast. I was like, no. I just fell on my back while I was skating. And she believed it. So I got out of that. But to be honest, at the time, I kind of wish I didn't, because I just wanted to go home and lay down. I really did not feel good. But you know, if I got caught, then Alex and George would have gotten caught. And so I didn't do it. About an hour goes by from the time she calls me and the time we get ready to leave again. And so that time we wanted to go from the AutoZone to a Subway that was on the other side of the parking lot. And to be honest, the walk from AutoZone to Subway was not as hard as the walk from the grocery store to the AutoZone. It was actually way easier, but it wasn't easy, but it was like not as hard, you know. So we walked to Subway and I still feel like shit, and you know, we just go in Subway and we just sit down for no reason. Like we just sit down and I just lay my head down because I didn't feel good. And there was a guy inside of Subway that said, oh, you guys are stoned, huh? That's why you're staying in here. And, you know, all of my friends laughed and I just kept my head down. But it was so hot inside that Subway. And to be honest, that probably did not help with how sick I felt. So we were in Subway for not even 5 minutes. And I look at Alex and I go, dude, I really do not feel good. And he goes, do you want to go outside? And so on your way to Subway, there are like steps to walk up. And I went outside and I walked down not even 2 steps. Or there was only 3, but I only walked down 2 steps. And I got sick everywhere. I threw up everywhere. It was all over the concrete. It was disgusting. And there was a lady that worked at this Mexican shop next to the Subway. And she was like, do you want water or anything? And I was like, no, I'm fine. And I just kept on throwing up. I threw up for at least 3 minutes straight. But after that, I felt way better. But to be honest, after throwing up, I felt way better. And I didn't feel high at all. Like, it was completely gone. And to be honest, I don't know why I got sick. It could have been because of the weed. Or it could have been, like, I got too hot or something. Or maybe it was even because I smoked too much. But that's kind of where this story ends. It was a very unenjoyable experience that I have had. Probably one of the most unenjoyable experiences I've ever had in my life. But I haven't had much bad experiences in my life. I'm pretty young still. So more of the story is, if something's too good to be true, it probably is. But I'm going to end this video off here. If you guys ended up enjoying it, please please consider liking and maybe even check out some other videos, or maybe even subscribing if you want. But thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.